in a very old Greek city, located at the plain of Laconia. On the dry land and as red of the blood of its past, athletes from around the world gathered this weekend to put their names in history.
It's my dream. I made this my goal this whole year, to come here and do it in where the birthplace of the Spartans were.
The feeling, the energy of the ancient warriors.
I've been dreaming about being here in Greece since I was a little boy. This is a dream come true for me.
Be here actually in Sparta, you know, watching the movie is one thing, but to be here, this is really my 300.
Unreal. It's an unreal feeling to race here where 1,000 years ago the Spartans lived.
Each year, Spartan brings together thousands of new-style warriors through hundreds of events in 45 countries. Spartan is a discipline that combines running and obstacles in natural and wild settings. It is in Sparta, antique land of Spartans, that the athletes meet for the third editions of the Trifecta World Championships, a race that takes place over a weekend and that includes 3 different events in 2 days, the Trifecta. Here in Sparta, the race takes place from the river Evrodas to the top of mountains, including amazing settings, ancient Sparta ruins, antique tombs of Menelaus and Leonidas statue. The sprint is a 6 kilometers race with 22 obstacles. The super, 14 kilometers with 28 obstacles. The beast, 23 kilometers with 35 obstacles. The obstacles are rude, tough, including mud, water crossing, climbing, crawling, balance obstacles, and all over that, a huge sense of strategy for the most competitive ones. These 3 different formats offer to everyone the opportunity to surpass themselves in the field. The Trifecta exists for those who want even more.
It puts me out of my comfort zone. It takes me places I've never been.
I love the feeling when you're almost crying when you cross the finish line.
You want to find the next limit, and well, for me the Trifecta is the next limit.
Here are the top athletes, the most competitive ones, who begin the first race of the weekend and fight for the World Trifecta Champion title. Peter Siska from Slovakia is taking the lead of the 2nd kilometer. Behind, Robert Killian is pushing hard to close the gap. Robert Killian, the new world champion in Tahoe 3 weeks ago, is taking control of the race. In Tahoe, he has crushed all his opponents, but here, he's not on his land, and maybe the huge gap between the frozen condition in Tahoe and the heat of the Greece can be a challenge for him. Peter Siska shows to Killian that he's at the same level, but Killian answers immediately with a brutal attack and gains the psychological upper hand over Siska. Robert Killian is easy on Olympus, while Siska is losing a few seconds. Behind, Ryan Atkins and Gregory Basilico are fighting for the 3rd place. At the start line, women are ready to begin the race. We can see the favorites: Adela Varadkova, Alisa Petrova, Petra Gruber, Angelique Chetanou, Jezebel Kramer, Nicole Mericle, the champion in Tahoe, and Zenka Popova, the 24 hours endurance champion, all ready to go. Myriam Guyot-Boisset, who's used to stay behind at the beginning of races, is taking the lead after a few minutes only. We can see Nicole Mericle, the huge favorite of the weekend, taking advantage on the vertical net. In the river, which is also a kind of obstacle, Eszter the Slovakian seems more at ease. On men's race, there is now a 30 seconds gap between the American and the Slovakian. On third place, Ryan Wood is getting closer. While Siska is catching up with Killian, Woods is coming back quickly on the two-man. After a long, fast running part, Woods now first shows his skills on Twister. Now back to women race. There's Nicole Mericle still leading with 40 seconds on the second, Eszter, and already 2 minutes on Miriam Guillaume-Boissé. On bucket carry, Killian is still a few seconds behind Ryan Woods. The two leading athletes are entering the river again, where ancient Spartans were used to train thousands years before. The former European champion, Sergey Perelygin, is pushing hard to come back with Peter Siska just behind. After the end of the river, Peter Siska is coming first at spiral throw, an obstacle where we have seen many champions fail. Ryan Woods is the first to leave. Then Peter Siska, and finally Robert Killian, but Sergey Perelygin has failed. Nicole Mericle, still on the lead of women's race, is now seeing the Slovakian Eszter on her side. Close to the finish line, Peter Siska is fighting for the first place at the multi-rag. Behind, Ryan Woods don't want to let him take the final advantage. But at 200 meters from the finish line, Peter Siska cannot miss the victory. It is finally at third that Robert Killian is crossing the finish line, 1 minute behind Peter Siska. Followed by Albert Soley, 1 minute after. On the last part of the race, Nicole Mericle is emerging victorious with a 47 seconds advantage on Eszter the Slovakian.
Top five on this competition, and I was fifth last year, and I believe it will be same or better.
If I was looking at and considering the top people in this sport and who might have a chance of actually winning this, On the female side, without a doubt, I'm going to go with Nicole Mericle. And the reason why I'm going to go with Nicole Mericle is not only is she having an amazing breakout year, amazing. Before she even had a breakout year, she was a stud athlete. She's got grip strength, she's got climbing acumen, she's got run strength, she's got age on her side. She keeps her head together, she doesn't panic. She's got the experience. She was here last year, as we know, and had a phenomenal race. So I know there's a lot of strong Europeans, but I think she's on a roll right now, and I'm suspecting the person we're going to see on that stage on Sunday is going to be Nicole.
Ryan Atkins and Thomas Bayenet pass the Russian and come back on Siska. Atkins, so strong on obstacles where the power is key, splits up on bucket carry. Nicole Mericle, also comfortable on short races like 6-kilometer sprint race, has took the lead from the beginning. But Eszter Hortobagyiova keeps her in sight. As soon as they enter the river part, the three leading men push hard to try to take the lead back. Finally, Sergey misses the spear throw again and must do his 30 burpees. Hopeless, he knows that he won't be able to come back. As Ryan Atkins misses too, Albert Soley is flying for the win. Ryan Atkins and Sergey Perelygin tell us a few words about Soley.
I think he's a really good racer. He's really strong, and I think he's really strong in the shorter races.
I think he's in a good shape now. Yeah, maybe first part of season be not good for him. He have injury, but now he is strongest and strongest.
Richard Hynek from Czech Republic. Discreet so far is taking the second place, and just behind him, Ryan Woods. Nicole Mericle is still ahead on bucket carry. However, she has just a few seconds on Eszter the Slovakian. Unfortunately for her, the American misses the spear throw. This obstacle has made some damages today. Eszter Hortobagyiova has now a 1 minute 30 seconds lead on Nicole Mericle. Nicole Mericle crosses the finish line with a 1 minute gap with the Slovakian. Janka Popova finishes third. There's elites who want to fight each other for competition. And there's the others who fight against themselves to cross the finish line.
I've been doing Spartan races 5 years now. 2 years I've been training for them. 61 now. I love this. It's nothing you can't do if you want to. I mean, you know, you said life, you know, the obstacles. Life is an obstacle. You know, what are you going to do when you get into an obstacle in life? Quit or do it? Same thing here. You don't have to do nothing here, but you're not going to feel good about it. In life, if you quit, you don't feel good about it. So here we are.
For anybody that thinks they can't do this, it's not true. If you get out on this race course, you will see every size, every age, every physical ability. You will see it all. A lot of it comes to up here. We have people come from all over the world that have no legs, one arm, no arms, and they get it done. They do the same thing that I do. So if they can do it, everybody can do it. It's not limited to being an elite athlete.
And finally, the last race of the Trifecta World Championship is the Beast, 23 kilometers and 38 obstacles. It's the track of super race, but with 8 additional kilometers in the mountains with tough obstacles. The athletes thought the Beast regarding the global time of super plus sprint races. Ryan Woods and Nicole Mericle are the leaders of global ranking after first day cumulative time of the two races, so they start first on the staggered start system. Ryan Woods has started with a comfortable 58 seconds lead on Albert Soley, 1 minute 21 seconds on Killian and 1:36 on Siska. Nicole Mericle has started only 9 seconds before Eszter Hortobagyiova. Will she resist to her rival? Ryan Woods is still first at the 8th kilometer, but behind him, Robert Killian has already overtaken Albert Soley and is pushing hard to come back on Woods. Robert Killian, not used to European balance obstacles like the slackline, makes a mistake that can cost him the podium. For an athlete like Killian, making a 30 burpees penalty takes almost 2 minutes, and Richard Hynek is already there. Ryan Woods doesn't know it, but Hynek has already taken him more than 1 minute back. The 21 years old athlete from Czech Republic, yet underrated, was third in Trifecta World Championship last year. Nicole Mericle, at the 9th kilometer, has now more than 1 minute to Eszter Hortobagyiova. Behind, Albert Soley is now passing Robert Killian. Nicole Mericle, so fast on the obstacles, is increasing her gap with Eszter. At 9 kilometers of the finish line, Richard Hynek has closed the gap of 2:57 he had with Ryan Woods on the start line. Woods knows that the victory will be hard for him. On this beast, there is one special obstacle that combines 2 carry obstacles. You begin with a sandbag, then you let it to take a chain, and finally leave the chain to finish the loop with the sandbag. That's heavy, that's long, and at this task, Richard Hynek is the strongest. Just behind him, Albert Soley has taken the advantage over Robert Killian, who is now almost 1 minute behind him. With now more than 2 minutes lead over Eszter Hortobagyiova, Nicole Mericle shouldn't take any risks, but a 30 burpees penalty could still take the Trifecta World Champion title away from her. Richard Hynek doesn't see anyone behind him and is now in good position for the final victory. Except if he fails on this multi-rack on the monkey bar, both updated and harder for the beast race, Richard Hynek will cross the finish line first. The Czech athlete wasn't expected at this level. His opponents underestimated him, and Richard Hynek, 21 years old, is now the new Trifecta World Champion.
Czech Republic, Richard battling out, we've got Killian, Wood, Soley and Perelygin. Our most recent...
Ryan Woods is coming second to the multi-rack, but he fails on Hercules hoist, resulting to a 30 burpees penalty. Sergey Perelygin, just a few seconds behind, passes him at only 200 meters off the finish line. Albert Soley, who was 30 seconds behind, overtakes him too. Outsiders yesterday, Hynek, Perelygin and Soley are today the new heroes in Sparta. Ryan Woods, who was second just a few minutes ago, is finally keeping advantage on Robert Killian just before the final obstacle. But the duel is not over yet.
And seconds behind him, Robert Killian, also in the USA. A great job, boys. Well done.
Nicole Mericle doesn't know it yet, but at this time, there is 8 minutes between her and the Slovakian Eszter Hortobagyiova, and it seems hard to stop her. Nicole Mericle has already won a world champion title last month in Tahoe. We can say that it is a perfect end of season for her. Eszter Hortobagyiova has raced at a level unexpected on the 3 races, and she has a 10 minutes lead on Alisa Petrova. But with the American Nicole Mericle, she has found stronger than her. With so much time between her and the third woman, she can do her 30 burpees penalty after failing to pull Hercules hoist to the top without any pressure.
Eszter Hortobagyiova!
Alisa Petrova is coming third to the final obstacles. The Russian, also not favorite before this weekend, has shown some impressive skills on obstacles.
From the USA, Nicole Mericle.
Just come and visit Sparta.
It's life-changing.
All over the world, no matter the flag, no matter the religion, we are human beings together.
It's about everything coming together. It's the sport that brings everyone into this one place.
Because it brings the best of all worlds out of me.
I heard so much. So much.
Do your best. Where else are we going to meet this many people on this ground?
You just have to start anywhere. You could start on a sprint, you can start on a super, anywhere you start, you just got to take that first step.
I have this and nobody can take it away, and it's something I take with me everywhere.